What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some of the weirdest things that only Canadians do. So today, I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked Canadians, what's something that you just assume everyone else does? Until a non Canadian points out that it's really just a Canadian thing. So today, I thought it'd be really fun to hear about some of the strange things that Canadians do. And to be clear, these are things that Americans think are weird. I'm sure in Canada this is all completely normal behavior, and there's probably a lot of things that you Canadians think are weird about us, Americans. And, that's fine, but this video it's not about us. It's about weird Canadian activities. So let's take a look here. Maybe it's leaving your doors unlocked. Wow. I mean, that would be extremely weird to do in America, that's for sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing to be clear about here. Just because something is weird does not mean it's bad. On the contrary, it's actually a bad thing that we think this is weird. Which I do. In America, I just think, we're a pretty civilized society. I swear. For the most part. But we definitely have a lack of trust in our society in America. Like, you don't leave your personal belongings out on the table when you're having dinner. You don't leave your door unlocked. Do people in Canada actually do that? How weird. Saying sorry to inanimate objects. I've heard that before. For Canadians. Very, very polite. Even to things that are not alive. You bump into a mailbox. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Or knowing what a double-double is without thinking twice. I can translate that. I actually just did like a Canadian slang video very recently, actually. That's a coffee from Tim Hortons with 2 cream and 2 sugars. The coffee isn't weird, but calling it a double-double is weird for most Americans. That's true. Or even the way that we line up perfectly at Tim Hortons. I heard this threw an American off once. I mean, it wouldn't throw me off. It would just be like, I'm in heaven. Is that what Tim Hortons in Canada is? Is that just heaven? Because of the line. Not even because of the double-double, but because of the line. Man, Americans are so bad at forming lines. I swear. Once a week, I like to go to Papa John's, and I pick up the pizza. I pick it up from the actual establishment because you get a little discount. And I walk in, and there's a counter, and there's always 4 or 5 other people. They're not in a line. They're just scattered, leaning against the wall, a couple leaning against the counter. There's no order. It's chaos. And I think, man, this shouldn't be normal. So I do think this is weird that in Canada you have such good line waiting abilities, but this is a weird that I wish we had in America, because people in America will act like they have no idea what a line is. We do it in school when we're little children, going to the playground, but we just forget about it when we're adults. I mean, I've seen Americans cut in line, walk into a line, and act like they're not doing anything wrong. Like is this a line? I had no idea. It's like, you had an idea. I know you had an idea of what this is. Don't tell me you don't know what a line is. But so many Americans do it. What's something you didn't realize was a Canadian thing? So this must be kind of funny for Canadians to hear about. But For me, it's very entertaining as well. So let's take a look at a couple more. Switching between metric and imperial depending on the situation. It confuses my American friend. Yeah, man. I mean, I gotta say, I think I did a video a while ago about how Canadians measure things, and it is a mixture, right? A mixture of imperial and metric. You know, kudos to you for taking on the metric system and incorporating that. You use Celsius and kilometers, these strange foreign things that I don't know what they mean. But but I don't know about the mixture. That is very weird to me. Why, if you're going to go metric, just go. Just do it. Take the plunge. Go all the way. I'd actually respect it. But half and half, that's just very, very confusing if you're not Canadian and you don't know. In America, I mean, maybe it's a little hypocritical of me to say, we're 90% imperial with inches and feet, yards, miles, Fahrenheit, whatever. But we do have like 2 liter bottles of soda. So there's the liter, that's metric. Is there anything else that's metric? Not really that I can think of, but in Canada, I think it's much more of a mixture, which is very strange to me. Very, very, very confusing. I agree with that one. You're very weird for that. But I think it's because Canada tried to incorporate the metric system at some point in the recent past, and you've just kind of ended up with this half and half thing, I guess? It's a little weird. My favorite one is when people come across a mitten, a hat, scarf, and etc., and then place it on the nearest pole so the owner can easily retrieve it, and everyone respects this. There's still a small mitten on a fence post in my street from last winter, LOL? No, there's no LOLing. I don't understand. I don't understand. This makes it seem like Canada just is a civilized society. So you're telling me when you find on a street, you're walking down the streets of Canada. That's a weird way to say it. Like Canada is like a town. The street of Canada. Yeah. There's just one street. You're walking down it. You come across a lost mitten or a hat, scarf. What you do is you put it on a pole. You stick it somewhere. And then the owner can come back and get it. And everyone actually respects that. This would never work in the United States. Never. The only reason this would ever work is if the mitten or hat was dirty and nobody wanted it. Otherwise, it's probably getting stolen, sadly. This is what I mean about just sort of a lack of trust in our society in America. It's definitely there. You can't be forgetting your stuff because it will very oftentimes you can expect it to be taken. Man. But in Canada, if you find something, this is how it should be. Absolutely. I mean, this is how it should be. You put it somewhere close by, and then the person can come back and get it, and everyone knows, okay, that's a lost item. No, that would not work in America. I mean, maybe in like a really small town where everyone kind of knows each other and is friendly, but wow, that says a lot about Canadian culture, honestly. That says a really, really good thing. Okay, this is funny because I'm Canadian, but I'm in Australia. I was walking down the street and I saw a necklace on the ground. I looked at it for a second and I thought I should just leave it there. Then I thought, no, I better go back and put it somewhere really visible, but where no one will step on it. Basically, what you just described. I think this is a Canadian way of dealing with the situation. Right. In America, it would either be left there on the ground, where it would get stomped into the mud, or someone would steal it. But Canadians, you actually take it to another level. You pick it up, you actually do a favor to each other. Imagine this. And you put it somewhere safe. I can't imagine. Very weird behaviors. But good behaviors. Canadians hold the door open for the person behind me, even if they are an uncomfortable distance behind me. Well, sadly, this happens in America too. Um, it's really, really annoying, but I think the heart is in the right place. I mean, I this has happened so many times where somebody is trying to be polite and hold the door open, but you're still like half a mile away or a kilometer away for Canadians. Um, and now you feel awkward, like they're holding the door open. You have to like jog. You're like, I'm coming. Fast walking because you don't want them to have to sit there all day holding the door. They were doing something nice, but now it feels like, you're really inconveniencing me. Can you just walk in? And this is not just a Canadian experience. This happens in America too. You jog to the door so as not to hold them up. Yeah. Yeah, yes. I thought Smarties were known worldwide, a known candy snack that every nation would ultimately know about and sell. Smarties, Smarties exist here in America, although I think they are different from what Canadians are talking about. If I put Smarties in Google here, if I just Google the word Smarties and I go to images, there we go. Actually, look, there's some Canadian Smarties showing up. Here we go. If I scroll down, this is American Smarties. I think Canadians call this something else. They're little candy, sugary tablets that you exchange your life for. Delicious treats because they are very bad for you. Canadians, you're talking about this stuff, right? The chocolate Smarties, I think. Yeah, if you said Smarties in America, we would be talking about the sugary tablet, not the chocolate. Americans don't know about the chocolate at all. I had no idea about that until I learned about it from a different Canadian video. I actually tried some once in a video. They were interesting. Canadian chocolate tastes different from American chocolate. That's what I learned. Similarly, until I was in my late teens, I thought the word skookum? Skookum. I feel like I'm casting a spell. Skookum. What is this word? Should I be saying this word? It sounds like a bad word. I thought skookum, it's satisfying to say, was a word that anyone in the English speaking world would understand. It means big or awesome. Little did I know it's a uniquely British Columbian or North American / Northern West Coast word with indigenous origins. I've never heard this word in my life. And it also sounds like this is regional to a part of Canada. Skookum means awesome, it means big or off. That is skookum, man. You are skookum. Is that how you do it? In the US, I believe their Smarties are our rockets. Okay? You have what? Our Smarties, you call them rockets. And we don't have your Smarties. If that makes any sense. I'm sure it's not exclusively Canadian, but taking off your shoes when you enter a house. My American cousins just never did it, so I assumed Americans are just weird. Oh, no, no, no. We're not flipping this around. Canadians are weird. You're weird for taking your shoes off. No, I can't even. I can't even argue with this. This is another thing it's weird about Canada, but weird in a good way. And it should be normal here. Yes, it's true. In America, it varies from household to household. Everyone has a different rule, whether you need to take your shoes off in the house or not. I grew up in a house where you take off your shoes. Don't drag the dirt and the mud in. For goodness sake, what's wrong with you? But yeah, I've met American families and friends. I go into their house. They're wearing shoes. They don't care if you tell. My default when I go into someone's house is I want to take off my shoes, but that's how I was raised. Some Americans are barbarians. It's true. But in Canada, it seems like 100% of the time, you take off your shoes. Good to know. And that's how it should be done. Saying washroom instead of restroom in public, washroom, that just sounds so fancy. Do Canadians all say washroom, like actually, instead of bathroom? Okay, first of all, restroom, that might be on the signs, like in a restaurant or gas station. It might say restroom this way. Most Americans say bathroom when we're talking about where the toilet is and that kind of thing. In Canada, you say washroom? Are there signs that say washroom? I've never heard anyone in America ever use the word washroom. So that just sounds like so fancy to like, oh, washing up. None of this bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom, the toilet room. Okay, no one says toilet room, but it's nothing like washroom. The washroom, please. I need to wash up. What are some more weird things only Canadians do? This is quite fun. Ketchup flavored chips. Oh my god, yes. I did a video where I tried these, actually. Shockingly good. I'm still not over that. Ketchup flavored chips. Man, the first time I heard that, I was like, are you kidding? That is just wrong. Part of me still thinks it's wrong, but my brain knows it tastes decent. Most Americans don't know ketchup flavored chips exist and would be shocked and appalled by it. And the all dressed, yeah, that makes no sense to any American. All dressed, I still don't even know what the all dressed flavor was. I can't even describe it. Milk in bags, that's a classic. But it's an Eastern Canadian thing. That's extremely weird. That's a quintessential weird Canadian thing. I think it uses plastic. Well, gallon containers use plastic. I was going to say it's for recycling, but I think it's for being able to measure milk in 1 liter quantities, if I remember. Because you can make a 1 liter bag easier than a 1 liter bottle. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen a milk in a bag in person. I've seen photos, though. Very strange. Saying pencil crayons. This is common too? Like washroom? Pencil crayons? I've heard this one before as a Canadian phrase. It's not slang. It's not slang. It's just Canadian vernacular word. This is a colored pencil in America. You guys really say pencil crayons? I mean, it makes. Or excuse me, I got a lot of flack for this. Pencil crayons. Crayons. You got to pronounce the yawns at the end. I forgot. That's another thing. Apparently, that's regional in America. Some people say crayons. Some, like me, say crayons. Pencil crayons. Excuse me. They are pencils, but they are not crayons. They're not made of wax. They're not. I'll argue this all day. Um, they are more like they're colored pencils, like a lead pencil but made of color. This could be a regional thing, but apparently the little oop when passing by someone at the grocery store is Canadian. Yes, that's not American. that's very funny. That is a little weird, but I get it. Oop. It's like, oh, I'm going to scooch by there. That kind of thing. Like, using the word oop, if that's even a word. Very Canadian. Saying bye to end a phone call. Some countries do it, some don't. No, in America we say bye. That's that one does not count. Canada, you say bye on the telephone, right? We say bye. We're getting off track into different countries if you're not even saying goodbye at the end of a phone conversation. So I think with that, that's a good place to stop. This was a lot of fun. Canadians, you're very weird, but in a good way. A lot of this stuff was actually turned out to be things we should be doing here in America. Taking our shoes off, waiting in line, that kind of thing. And a few things here that were just plain strange, but that's okay. That's what makes countries and cultures great, is these different things. So I quite enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of these things, strange things Canadians do. If you're Canadian, feel free to defend any of these things or explain. That'd be awesome to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and learning about Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.